My man doesn't know the term gene pool and suffers for it all argument.
Yeah, so that was the one where I was telling you the template from the the four square thing, the Punnett square. Oh, so they have they inherit the template. If I used the word gene pool, that would have saved me such a large headache and freaking 20 minutes. Bro, I can't believe you didn't think to say it either. So whenever I say they inherit the same genetics, that's what I'm talking about. I can't believe you never said that. I never said it either. I
Well,
just
yeah,
can't believe
because
I
I
never
was I
thought of
was
it.
debating you on the semantics. If you said like it comes from the same gene pool, that would have been a discussion. Be like, yeah, that's fine. But the point is when you said the same genetics, I'm like, well, no, that's where the difference is. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, but with this context in mind, I still say I was right, and they do have the same genetics in reference to the gene pool.
Yeah, but they don't have the same genetics. They comes from the same
They
gene pool.
pull the genetics from the same genetic place,
Yes, but their genetics do
which
not
is
end
where the
up the
genetics come
same.
from. But all of their genetics come from the same place.
Correct, but that doesn't mean they end up with the same genetics in the end.
But they have the same things. So I'm fine with it.
No, they don't have the same things. Himawari's hair is bluish purple, Boruto's hair is blonde. There's at least one difference right there.
Okay, if you have a rainbow river and then the river splits halfway through, and then on the left side blue water goes down, on the right side purple water goes
Yeah,
down, that's still the same water.
I'm not gonna say it's the same colored water, no.
I would, because it was the same. It is the same color because it's not blue and purple. Both of those are still rainbow. They're just part of the rainbow. Still the same color. Still the same
No, rainbow's
rainbow
not a
water.
color.
Just split
Rainbow
up.
is a collection of colors.
Mm, okay, fine. Instead of rainbow, then what is blue and purple combined to? Let's say cyan. I don't think that's true, but I'm gonna say it
Just
is for
do
now.
red and
It's
blue to make
cyan
purple.
water
Just
that
do red and
splits in
blue
the
to make
river.
purple, so you don't have to guess.
Sure, fine. Red and blue make purple. So then it's purple water that splits in a river into red and then blue on the other side. That red and blue water isn't actually red and blue, it's just purple.
No, it's not. Well, first of all, you can't.
See, it
Do
doesn't
that.
work with your analogy because it actually isn't. If you're splitting the colors like that. The rainbow water actually
doesn't make any
works.
sense in the first place because this is
Rainbow is one color. I don't care what you say. No, rainbow is a color. I count rainbow as a color.
Okay, just because you do it. No.
You can make a freaking.
It's rainbow a color. No.
I don't care if it's one color or more than one color. Rainbow is a color. Start a community poll. Do it in the freaking live stream
Rainbow
poll.
is it's a spectrum. It's a collection of colors. It's not a color, singular.
It's a spectrum of what?
Here. What's colors plural?
Yeah, the colors come together in a spectrum to make this in general. So let's start.
Which part?
Here. Let's start here. Okay. So Kamui, getting back to the nasty G word with Himawari, genetics are like baking a cake. It's funny because you literally used a baking a cake analogy. I think in the Jiro conversation or like yesterday.
What it was. That's the first thing I thought of.
It wasn't this, but I thought I could have like it was in reference to Himawari's genetics as well. As funny as it is, yeah, it was like you can bake a cake, but you can't unbake it. I was in reference to Baryon mode.
Okay.
The chakra's gone. It can't just be ungone.
Yeah.
It's so funny that you came up with a cake analogy on your own in reference to this broader conversation. It's like a day or two after I came up with mine. So mine is genetics are like baking a cake. You can wind up with two different cakes, even when using the same exact ingredient. So this goes to the gene pool thing. So that's just the idea.
Mm-hmm.
The point isn't the cakes, it's the ingredients. Genetics are like baking a cake, and you should naturally disagree. But it's two different cakes made with the same thing. Boruto and Himawari have the same genetics.
But you already agreed earlier that it's just the gene pool that they have the same of. That's it.
No, but again, I think through the gene pool they have the same genetics, and this is the reason why.
You either
No, I
understand the
do.
word genetics or you don't. You pick one.
Well, yeah, no, I understand the word genetics.
No, you don't. Not based off what you're saying.
No, it's just your misunderstanding because you don't understand genetics.
No, you're trying to explain a different term. You're saying genetics when you mean something else.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
See, the thing
you
is,
are.
you're like, oh, well, I took so many classes in genetics.
No,
I know what I'm
we looked
talking
at.
about.
I've
And then I
proven it.
counter with the fact that I've also taken classes in
Udi,
genetics.
okay,
So
but
that
we
point doesn't
also
mean anything.
looked
You're not
it up.
smarter
We
than me on
literally
genetics.
looked it up for you, and all the same applied. Like, because
And why is
like,
Google a reliable narrator?
why are you more reliable than Google?
Because I'm right.
But you're not.
Yes, I am. See, that's not an argument.
But you're not really. I don't know why we're still on this shit.
Okay, if I'm not right, then where am I wrong with the cake analogy? Because I'm not.
But in that case, you're saying
Yeah,
that they are two different
yeah,
cakes.
you know why you're saying because I'm right.
No, because in that case, your point is they have different genetics because they are two different cakes.
They're two different cakes made of the same exact stuff. Made of the same genetics in this case, the same ingredients.
Well, no, it would be the input
The
genetics.
ingredients are all the same.
No, it would be the same input, the same parents, but the output is different in that case, which is why they're two different cakes.
Then it's not the same ingredients.
It's
so what you're saying isn't my cake analogy.
That's because in real life it isn't actually the same ingredients because of all the things that happen.
Such as
crossing over, the mix match word. I forgot what that one was called. We looked it up, but like we really showed the thing on stream with meiosis. Like it doesn't end up being all this. Like you're just looking at the Punnett square. So the point is like which ones they get, like which ones they receive. So like if you have like a filter, you can throw in. I don't know. That filter's probably not the best example, but yeah, all right. Remember, you like to say, the Mortal manga, the two blue vortex is throwing a bunch of things against the wall, seeing what sticks. So the parents are throwing everything against the wall, but like the ingredients the wall retains, what actually sticks. That's like the kids. So what do they get? So the ingredients that actually went stuck to the wall, that's the kids' ingredients. Those aren't inherently the same for each kid.
No. The crossing over happens during the baking. In this case, that's the pregnancy, the time where the baby grows. What we're talking about, the gene pool is whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. The gene pool is the ingredients on the table. The genetics are the ingredients from the table that are added in to the batter.
Okay, but then in that case, they don't have the same genetics because not all the same ingredients
get added in. They do have the same genetics because they were baked differently. It's the same genetics.
No, they don't have the same genetics. They have different ingredients. They have different
genes. The crossing over happens after the ingredients are added.
The problem is not all the ingredients get added. It's like the ingredient. Imagine, okay, here's a goofy analogy. Imagine you have a bunch of dry ingredients and you're going to pour them into a bowl. Well, sometimes you just miss the bowl. Sometimes you half hit the bowl, half miss the bowl. And other times you put it in properly. And then you try to do it again.
Those are mutations.
No, it's not just mutations, but...
That's not natural. That's the exception, not the rule. Well, yeah, it's not just mutations. But the point is that it's the exception, not the rule. It's not natural.
I don't... Like, consult every geneticist you know, and they're going to tell you they have different genetics. I don't know what else to tell you at this point. You're just...
Yeah, well, I can say the same exact thing to you.
You're right. You can't say that. So do siblings have the exact same genetics? Unless
you just said the two siblings have the exact same genetics. I agree.
From their father. However, unless they are identical twins, they won't inherit the exact same DNA. That's the point. They don't inherit the same DNA unless they're identical twins.
The gene pool doesn't change.
Different parts of DNA from their parents. So the problem is, Udi, and I'll say this again, gene pool is not the same as genetics. They're not the same terms.
Naruto's blue eyes are always blue. They don't change to green at some future point in life. His genetics don't change. The gene pool doesn't change. The ingredients
Udi,
never change.
Describe to me what a gene pool is.
It's all the possible genetics.
So the definition of gene pool, like, I don't know if you kind of like remember. So there's different ways you can. I'll give you a few of them. So the second one, I'll start with the first one. This is the one that I was most frequently seeing in school. A gene pool is the total genetic diversity found within a population or a species. Another one, the stock of different genes in an interbreeding population. Gene pool, sum of a population's genetic material at a given time. So what does that mean? So, for example, it's all
in reference to this conversation, it's all the possible genetics between Naruto and Hinata.
So it's what type of genes do they have? They have genes for eye color, genes for this, genes for that. A spider will have genes for exoskeletons that we don't have a gene for example. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Different things. So in
we're not including
case,
that.
The gene pool is what? Okay, but it's not Naruto and Hinata. It's all humans. All humans. They are the same species, the same population. They all have the same gene pool. So yeah,
Naruto, but the conversation is revolving around Himawari. So we're not talking about all humans. We're talking about Himawari's parents because that's who we're talking about.
If you're gonna use gene pool, Himawari has the same gene pool as Chocho. That's a fact. So of course she has the same gene pool as Boruto. That doesn't mean she has the same genetics.
You're purposefully jumping outside of the bounds of the conversation.
No, because I'm purposefully
to
using
use gene
the terms properly.
It would be common sensely used in this debate.
Udi, you're using a term improperly. You
know how to use this term in the bounds, the confines of this conversation.
And it would be incorrect to do so.
So obvious.
It would be incorrect to do so.
No, it's not, because we would both go into it knowing that, because it's obvious.
Okay, but it doesn't matter. Because you can eliminate Chocho. The genes are the same. They all have the same genes for the same types of things because they're all humans. Like, there's no difference in the type of... They all have the same... The gene for eye color, the gene for hair color, the gene for nails, the gene for facial hair, the gene for head hair, blah, 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 whatever genes they got. Like, they're all gonna have the same genes to work with. The gene pool. The point is, well, what specific genetic makeup did they end up with? And it's not the same between siblings, unless they're identical twins.
Okay, so you agree they all have the same genes, concession accepted.
Yeah, they have the same genes, but they don't have the same genetics.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't, Udi. You're just flat out wrong. The gene pool's the set of all genes, but it's not the exact same specific alleles in genotype.
No, they have different gene expressions.
That's in addition.
Their genetic expressions is different.
It's not. That's not the only difference between them. It's
the big B and the big B and the big B and the little b are the same genetic.
No, same phenotype.
Because they're both Bs.
No. Oh my. Big B and little b are not the same genetics.
Yes,
they're the same gene. Different alleles. The allele is the specific form of that gene. The little b, in this case, we'll say is blonde hair, while the big B is brown hair. Those are different alleles, resulting in a different phenotype depending on the makeup. If it's heterogeneous, homogeneous, sometimes the heterogeneous will be a third different thing depending on the gene you're working with, but we'll go simple. If it's heterogeneous or homogeneous big B, they'll be the same phenotype. That's the expression, that's what you're seeing, the literal visible thing, the result of it. But the genetic is still the genetic makeup is still different in that case. What if it's heterogeneous versus homogeneous in that case? It's still different genetics, but same phenotype in the end.
And all of that happens after conception.
I don't care when it happens at all. That doesn't matter because their genetics are still different.
Okay, concession accepted.
That's not a concession. I'm not debating you on when it happens. So, no, there's no concession. It was never a debate. So, and I don't want to do this anymore, Udi. Like, I know you're trolling. You agreed earlier to the fact that you realized it was the gene pool that you were trying to talk about.
No, I didn't. You misunderstood earlier.
No, you're trolling me right now, and I'm not gonna fall for it.
No, I'm not. You're trolling me. See how that doesn't say anything?
But you know I'm not trolling you because the freaking whole world's on my side.
But Kamui, the whole world's on my side. See how that's not saying anything?
We'll see. We got time watching.
Well, let the audience decide on that one.
Anyway,
So the whole world's on your side, huh?
bro, all 5 of you guys who voted, or the 3 who voted yes, you're just wrong.
You mean 4? You
Same
said 5
thing,
and 3.
doesn't
You went in between.
I don't know. Whoever 4 of you voted, you guys are all wrong. Like,
What? Okay, changing the goalpost, so it's not the whole world. Interesting.
yeah, I'm surprised, honestly. This is the first time the poll didn't go in my favor. I don't know what got into them today. And like, yeah,
Wow.
this one's just objectively like
Had to pull that card.
one way. It is the first time. That's why I was surprised.
No, I agree. It is objectively one way. I completely agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
well, at least we
objectively
agree on
my
that.
way.